Let's not talk about your child, but let's still focus on their sleep. Do you know how their bedroom impacts their sleep? If you don't, you soon will. If the environment keeps whispering, stay awake, check this out, even the best bedtime routine won't work. Light, color, clutter, and sound can all send mixed signals to the brain. Today, let's look at how to turn your child's bedroom into a quiet cue for rest instead of another source of stimulation. Because when the room itself supports sleep, everything else gets easier. Hi, I'm Diane Lusney, and I'm here to support mothers who have children on the spectrum who also struggle with sleep to get better sleep. Point one: light controls melatonin and mood. Light is one of the most powerful influences on your child's ability to fall asleep, and here is why. Light directly controls melatonin production. Melatonin is a hormone that your child's brain makes naturally. It's often called the sleep hormone. But what it really does is tell your brain that, based on when morning light was, it's probably dark. That cues a number of actions to make you sleepy and to transition into sleep mode. But when melatonin levels are low, your body isn't triggered into sleep. Here's the problem: light, especially a specific type of light called blue light, blocks melatonin production. Blue light comes from phones, tablets, computer screens, even many modern LED light bulbs. When your child's eyes detect blue light, the brain interprets this as daytime light. It thinks, it's midday. We need to be awake and alert. So it suppresses melatonin and keeps the body in wake mode. This is why your child can be tired, yawning, rubbing their eyes. But if they're looking at a bright screen or sitting under bright overhead lights, the brain isn't getting the signal that it's time to sleep. The light is essentially overriding their tiredness. But here's the good news: soft, warm light does the opposite. Warm light has more red and orange tones, similar to sunset or candlelight. When the brain sees this type of light, it interprets it as evening time. It allows melatonin to rise naturally, which helps mood settle and the body shift into rest mode. Think about how you feel standing by a campfire or under a soft lamp versus standing in a brightly lit grocery store. The quality of light completely changes how your nervous system feels, doesn't it? The same is true for your child, but often more intensely because their sensory system is more sensitive to these environmental cues. What you can do: 2 hours before bed, start dimming lights throughout your home, not just in the bedroom. Use table lamps instead of overhead, which signals that the sun is overhead. Use low wattage lamps with warm toned bulbs, salt lamps that give a soft orange glow, or amber night lights instead of overhead LED lights. Try to have no screens for at least an hour before bed. If your child must use a screen in the evening, switch it to night mode or use blue light filtering glasses. Work with your child's biology rather than against it. What are some non-screen activities your child does or can do in the evening? We are all so screen-centered. It can be hard to build non-screen activities into our life. If you have some ideas, please share in the comment section below for those of us who have become screen dominant. Point two: be a cool dude. Although my kids would argue with me, I am a very cool dude. Maybe not in the regular sense, but when it comes to nighttime temperature, I am cooler than most. Do you notice sometimes you'll be watching TV in the evening and you'll start to feel a bit chilly? Might grab a little blanket to keep you warm while you're watching TV? That's your body preparing you for sleep. Our body actually needs to drop its core temperature slightly to fall asleep and stay asleep. When the room is too hot, the body can't cool down properly, and this keeps the brain in a lighter sleep state. Even if your child might fall asleep, if they are too warm, chances are they will wake up frequently because their body's first priority is to cool off. Once that's accomplished, then it will return to sleeping. The ideal sleep temperature is said to be about 18 to 21 degrees Celsius, which is about 65 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. This might feel cool to you when you're awake, but it's perfect for sleeping because the body naturally warms itself under blankets. But as always, allow for individual differences. My furnace is set for 16 at night, 20 for the day. For people who don't have sensory issues or sensory kids who don't like tight things, leaving the upper sheets and blankets untucked helps support a cooler sleep. We lose heat through the bottom of our feet, our hands, and our faces. If blankets are loose, then feet can be easily uncovered and sleep is supported. What you can do: reduce the temperature at night to support the body's natural need to cool. Do this slowly if you don't normally have cooler night temperatures. This doesn't mean anyone should be shivering under their blankets. The reason for the cooler room is to provide the option of cooling by removing blankets. If the room is warm, there's no chance for the body to cool off and return to sleep. Point 3. Quiet visual triggers. What do you suppose a cluttered and brightly colored room tells your child's brain? Perhaps something's happening. There are things to look at, to think about, to process. Too many toys scattered around, posters on every wall, piles of laundry, or bright, busy patterns on bedding all keep the visual system busy scanning. Even with eyes closed, if your child opens them briefly during the night, which everyone does naturally between sleep cycles, a visually busy environment can pull them fully awake instead of letting them drift back to sleep. Does your child sleep in a cluttered room? If not, how do you keep clutter at bay? Share one or more of your secrets in the comments below so more of us can reduce our clutter stress and rest easy. Color also matters. Bright, intense colors, especially red, orange, and bright yellow, are activating colors. But cool, soft tones like blues, greens, and lavenders, or warm neutrals like beige, soft gray, and cream are colors the nervous system interprets as safe and calming. Spatial organization matters too. When everything has a place and the floor is clear, the room feels contained and safe. When things are scattered or piled up, the room feels chaotic, and that chaos affects how the nervous system feels. It can also play games in the night as places where monsters hide. What you can do: remove unnecessary visual noise from the bedroom. Keep toys in closed bins or behind closed doors rather than out on open shelves where they're visible. Limit wall colors to one or two calm tones, soft blues, greens, or warm neutrals. If there are posters or decorations, choose calm images rather than busy, bright ones or action-filled ones, or place them where they can't be seen easily when lying in bed. You don't need to redesign the entire room or spend money on new furniture. Just simplify what the eyes see when the lights are dim. Put things away before bedtime so the visual field is clear. Cover bright electronics with a dark cloth. Make the room feel spacious and calm rather than full and stimulating. You've learned some of the pieces to create a sleep sanctuary: lighting, temperature, and the visual field. Here comes the problem. How do you put into action consistently what you have learned? If there's no action, the time spent watching this video was wasted. That's a sad reality for most of us. How do you take what you've learned and put it into an easy plan? Because if you don't put into action what you've learned, have you really learned anything at all? I'll show you how to pull everything together into your child's sensory sleep map in the next video. Join me.